Hello, my beautiful, beautiful friends. Welcome back to Creator Codes. Today's episode is all about how to receive more blessings. If it feels like things keep going wrong, or you are in a positive state, but you're not receiving the things that you know are on your path, maybe they seem a little far away. This is going to be really helpful for you today. And as I was kind of clicking record, I was just feeling into how helpful it might be to do a little bit of just like a mini meditation. So you can always come back to this if you are kind of listening to this while you're doing some different things. And it'll always be here for you if you want to come back to it. So if you can, close your eyes. Start taking some nice deep breaths and feel into the present moment. There's nowhere else to be. There's nothing else to do. You're exactly where you are meant to be. And really deepen that breath all the way into your belly. Feeling the tension in your body releasing. Imagining this big, bright star way up in the sky, the brightest one you've ever seen. And it's getting brighter and brighter and brighter. And as you notice it, it starts to shoot down this light into your entire being, through your head, your crown chakra, through your hair, down your face, into your brain. Every cell of your body, this beautiful gold and white light coming down your throat chakra, down your arms, into your fingertips, all the way through your torso, pumping into every organ, down your legs, into your feet, and feeling that divine presence within you and all around you, that deep connection into the present moment. And to ground this in, let's ask Mother Earth to send her healing energy up through your feet, this pinkish light, beautiful and sparkly from the center of the earth, going up into your feet, into your calves, all the way up your thighs, your quads, into your torso, all the way into your intestines, pumping into your heart, through your organs, into your veins, down your arms, out your fingertips, up through your throat chakra, into your head and your brain, out your hair, and feeling that divine connection with the earth and you as the conduit in between the heavens above and the earth below. You have it all within you. You can access it all at all times. And coming into your heart center and feeling the gratitude that lives in your heart, and commanding that gratitude to activate right now. Shiki rakayon nusiki hayo shiki ayon akabrasiki ayonu kayo shiki, and imagining that color green in your heart expanding out, and as it expands out all the way around your body, it starts to turn different colors. Maybe it changes into a rainbow and gets even more sparkly. Maybe it becomes this bright golden white light, just as the divine sent through your head and into your body. Continue to send this energy outward, opening up your heart and feeling the blessing that is this present moment, that is your heart, that is the gratitude that lives within you. Amplify, amplify, amplify. continue to breathe and expand even more this energy from your heart center all the way out to the cosmos. Maybe connecting in with your spirit guides, with your soul family, with more light beings just like you. And breathe into this gratitude that is amplifying as your heart opens wider and wider. And traveling back into your body and feeling that expansiveness of your being. And feeling any guide, angel, a past loved one, whoever you'd like around you. In fact, there might be a circle of them around you now. Feeling grateful for you. Like attracts like, gratitude attracts gratitude. And as you feel this gratitude for yourself and for them and for the world and for being here right now, there are many other beings that are grateful for you and your guidance and your love and your ability to stay open-minded and open-hearted and connecting the two as much as you can every day, the mind and the heart. And with this feeling of gratitude, start to bring the word blessing in and around you. What does this word mean to you? When you feel into the word blessing, do you feel that you are one? Hint, you are. And that is what your spirit squad around you is telling you and helping you feel, that you are a blessing. Many souls have fought to come to earth. This is an acceleration of your consciousness being in this physical form. And although sometimes it can feel challenging, they're reminding you that this is the point, that you can always overcome, and that no matter what happens, you are always a blessing and you are always blessed. It's all around you. And if you have trouble feeling that at any time, just remember, you can always come back to this feeling of gratitude. And not just practicing gratitude, but feeling the true vibration of gratitude that lives in your heart. You can activate it at any time. And you will always be supported in doing so. So take a moment to thank your guides, your spirit squad for being with you, as they are excited that you are more connected consciously with this energy that you hold. And to finish, take 3 nice deep breaths, and you can ask any of these guides, anyone on your spirit team, for a message. It might be a word, it might be a feeling, it might be just a vibration of more gratitude. So allow that to come through as you take a couple more deep breaths. Rokayo, Siki, Hayo, Shiki. Bakara, Siki, Hu, Shiki, Hayon, Brayo, Shiki, Siki, Hayo, Kara, Siki, Rakapo, Shiki, Siki, Rushki. And so it is. And so it is. And so it is. You are so powerful, my friend. And I'm so happy to start off today's episode with a blessing for you. You know, it's really easy to get caught up in lack and in limitation and feeling like it's just really hard. Life is hard. And yes, that is true, but also there's a reason, just like it was said in the meditation, for the challenge, for the challenges. It's so we can expand our consciousness. It's so we can experience what happiness and what blessings really feel like. How great does it feel for something beautiful to happen when you're having a rough day? Doesn't that feel amazing? And what's cool is we can do that for ourselves and for other people at any given time. Because life is a blessing, and so are you. So let's dive into this episode today. I'm so grateful that you are here. You are truly, I'm almost like feeling emotional. You are all such blessings for me. Anytime I receive comments or feedback about any of my content that I put out there, it feels so magical, so beautiful, and it just reaffirms myself on my soul path because, you know, we all go through these challenges. We all go through these times where it can be rough and it can be difficult to see that we are a blessing and life is a blessing. But that is the ultimate truth. And so thank you for the support and the love, whether you watch my videos on Instagram or TikTok or my podcast or YouTube, you're a student in a course of mine, or you're in my membership. It really is the biggest blessing to feel into you all and how you want to spend time and energy consuming what I have to say. Wow, like that is, it's just so beautiful, and I'm thanking you so much from the bottom of my heart. Because I literally wouldn't do this without you. You're the reason that I get to do what I love. And you're the reason I do what I love, because I just want to make the world a happier place. There's so much that's going on in this world. Genocide and hate. And people are dying unfairly. And don't worry, we're going to come out of the sad for a moment, but again, with that polarity, it's important to recognize that it is not all rainbows and butterflies. And that's why your blessings are needed in this world today. And that's why it really makes a difference, literally just to share a smile with someone, especially who looks grumpy, especially someone who gives you the side eye. They need love. Okay. All right, let's get into this. Let's lighten the mood a little. So, how to receive more blessings? I mean, I kind of just said it. You give blessings. Because technically giving and receiving are the same energy, right? With the law of one, we're all connected. In the quantum field, anything is possible. We're all of everything at all the same time, right? So giving something to someone, it's like a boomerang. It is almost like you're giving to yourself. And we're not talking about in a selfish way. And we as in, I don't know, me and my spirit squad, I don't know why I just said we. I'm not talking about selfishly giving so you can receive something. That's not a true hearted intention. That is from the ego. And when you have to tell everyone, I'm blessing everyone, I'm doing this for that person, I'm doing this, I'm doing that, it can turn into manipulation. And so it can be a slippery slope. And I want to be clear that blessings are not, they have no intentions of receiving anything back when you give a blessing. And it's important to talk about this because when you want to receive more blessings, ultimately, You're being called by the divine to give more blessings. The law of reciprocation, right? And again, in the quantum field, when you're giving to someone else, it's like you are receiving that, because we're all pieces of each other. We're all pieces of the divine. And so a true blessing is very godly. It's very divine. And ultimately, what you're feeding into is what you're also receiving, right? You get what you are, not what you want. So if you want more blessings, be a blessing. And what's really cool is when you give blessings to others. This could be, anything, like I said, a smile. It could be a gift. It could be giving your time or like literally volunteering. It could be making someone a meal or giving a homeless person a protein bar. Like, it could be anything. It could be anything, really. Posting a video that's inspirational. Like, there's so many ways to give blessings in this world. And when you do give them, what you're telling your own subconscious and the universe is that you're full of blessings. So that's why you will get more blessings when you give blessings, because you can't give what you don't have. You cannot give what you don't have. So if you are giving blessings, you have blessings, and you get what you are, not what you want. So it's incredible to know about the law of reciprocation, and again, not to manipulate this law, because you can't really trick God and the laws of the universe. You can't really trick the universe. It's your authentic energy that matters behind these things, right? So there's always a flow of blessings that's happening. I'm seeing a figure 8, an infinity sign. And it's always going. And you can choose to get into that flow. And it's beautiful. I've been, just to share, my intention was to not share about the blessings I've been giving others, this is just a small aspect. I like to give blessings in many different ways. Even just the energy I share with others, even if they're angry, again, that really makes such a difference. But I found these little note cards in my grandparents' house, and they're like little, you're amazing cards. And you flip it open, and there's a little quote in there about how you are so loved, or I don't know, there's a bunch of different quotes. And so I found this little pack of them. I'm like, okay, I think I'm meant to give these out. And so I've been sticking them in the windshield of cars, and it brings me so much joy to know that whoever receives those maybe smiles when they open that. Maybe they needed that. Maybe it gives them hope, or it helps them realize, wow, I am connected with God. I do feel love. There are blessings around me. And that's something that brings me joy, not because they know it's me and my ego is getting recognized for it. No, in fact, I want to make sure they don't know who I am. And so how can you do that? I did that actually a couple of years ago, where I would write my own on a little notepad, and I would put them in people's windshields at the store or wherever, and it was just this channeled little quote that I would create and be so excited that someone would find that. So anyways, really easy ways to give blessings. That is one of the best, actually it is the best way to receive more blessings in your own life if you feel like you're in lack or limitation, because it really connects you to the truth that reality is very abundant, that you are very abundant, right? And so what we did in this meditation when we got started was we really focused on the energy of gratitude. Now, gratitude does live in your heart. And people think that your emotions are in your heart, but that's more sacral. Your heart holds gratitude. And that really is such a frequency that you cannot fake. And again, the more grateful you are, the more you attract more to be grateful for. And so when you live from the lens that life is a blessing, you tune into that abundance as your natural state. So I'm not really one to do affirmations, but I like to use them when I am in a heightened emotional state, because that's when we can really ingrain it and when it can be more impactful. So when you say, thank you, thank you, thank you, God, or I am so grateful for today. I am so grateful for the ideas flowing through me. That actually is the most powerful way to pray, is to pray from a state of gratitude rather than wanting. Because again, if you're wanting something, that is showing the universe that you do not have it. So be grateful for the abundance of opportunities, ideas, love that you have. That's why when you are really wanting to date someone or to be in a relationship, it's really important to love yourself. Like attracts like. Love attracts love. Because you wouldn't want your future partner to be, I really, really need someone to complete me right now. I feel in lack, so I need someone else to complete me. Like basically, right, is what you're saying when you're just wanting someone else's love to make you feel better. So what would that actually feel like? To feel whole and full of love right now, because it's actually true. And I just saw 2222. So that could be a sign, which is beautiful, because twos are a representation of relationships. So maybe that's a good sign for you that maybe a relationship is coming in or amplifying or blessing your life very soon. I love it. So I'm encouraging you to find small blessings every day, right? Just like you give small blessings. And also, I just want to know, you can give blessings to yourself every day. You don't have to go out there and impact the world, like physically, especially if you're, having a day like I do. I work from home, so maybe you're at home all day or you're not really going out. You don't have to go out there and try to find someone to bless. You can bless yourself. You can bless your pets, bless your house, bless nature. That is something I love to do, is give nature gifts and blessings with my food scraps or gemstones. That feels very powerful, because ultimately we are held by the earth, and it's a beautiful blessing to be here and to really cherish that and to give back those blessings. Again, it keeps us in that infinity of being in that continuous cycle of giving and receiving blessings. So when we are choosing to see through the lens of lacking, and I want to have that and I should have that, then that again will attract more of the lack when you feel like you don't have. So I would just recommend, instead of saying I don't have this, I want this, it's again like that prayer of I'm so grateful to have all the resources I need. And it's not from a place of, again, like trying to manipulate the laws of the universe, or try to manipulate like, okay, I know I'm not supposed to pray for this out of want. I need to pray out of gratitude. Your vibration does not lie. So do what you can to, if you want to go through this meditation in the beginning of this podcast first, and then say a prayer. I'm hearing, say a little prayer for you, forever and ever. Stay in my heart and I will love you. Only mean harm. That's a song from my best friend's wedding. So again, another sign, wedding. Best friend's wedding? Okay. So something when challenges come along that you can do is, this is something I always talk about. So you may have heard me kind of mention this, that challenges are blessings in disguise. They are. They don't have to be in disguise when you actually start to seek out challenges for your own like success and growth and alignment and redirection. Like, know that challenges are coded blessings. And I taught about this in my recent Creator Codes class. And it was all about reality creation. Reality creation, and how opportunities, a lot of them come in the form of challenges. So imagine what your life would look like or feel like when a challenge comes around and you're like, thank you, God, for this, because now I understand myself better. I understand there have been holes in my creator field, and I understand how I can shift now through just seeing that challenge and say thank you for the lesson. And you can also say thank you for the information that this is giving me, even if you don't necessarily know exactly like where that hole in your creator field is coming from. It will come through when you are grateful for receiving that information, right? Not like, oh, I want that information. Like, I don't know. I have no idea what this is telling me. Like, feel into the gratitude that the information is coming through. I like to ask my dreams. I've been doing that recently, of like, okay, this kind of was weird today. Higher self, do you mind like giving me something in my dream that I remember in the morning that will help me understand what this code is? And that's a fun way. It's fun to use our dreams. And that will help you remember your dreams more as well if you don't really remember them. So reality is like a dream, okay, that we're manifesting. And when you declare, I am blessed, you anchor that into form. So how can you anchor being blessed more into form today? Let's see. So on the flip side as well of receiving blessings, a lot of people say like, I feel blocked. Technically, energy can never be blocked. It's always flowing, even if it's a little bit slower in a certain chakra, in a certain way in your life. So the reason that most people feel blocked is because they don't feel worthy of receiving blessings. They feel guilty for receiving. They don't feel safe in receiving. They're doubting themselves. So this is kind of that flip side of really knowing who you are, a piece of the divine, really understanding that you are a blessing and life is a blessing. So when you feel disconnected from that truth and you're like, oh, who am I to receive $20,000 this month? Not me. Even if it's a subconscious belief. And I want to say, like, if you want to dive into this, we can work together one-on-one as far as mentorship goes. I just felt the call. I don't know if someone was thinking that, or I was picking up on like, how do I go deeper? We can work together on this. And I do have a membership, Creator Codes Collective, that you are welcome to join as well. And there's classes in there. We have a live class that you have access to every single month. And it's a community. So there's always ways to go deeper and to really integrate these ideas into life, because it's great to know life is a blessing, cool, but like when push comes to shove, how come, these things keep happening, or I can't break these patterns or whatever it is? Like, I got you. I have your back. All right. So another thing as well is intuition. That is very connected to seeing the blessings in the challenges, right? And when you follow your intuitive nudges, you're actually walking the path of blessings laid out for you. I want to say that again. When you are following your intuitive nudges, you are actually walking the path of blessings that are laid out for you. So how can you follow your intuition? because sometimes it does not seem like whatever your intuition is telling you feels very blessed, because it might feel uncomfortable. It might feel like, why would I do that? Maybe it doesn't make logical sense. That path is full of blessings. And when you follow your intuition, you can receive them quicker and easier. And so blessings going along with that, they flow the strongest when you are in alignment with your soul's truth and your soul's path. If you have not listened to my episode on following your soul pull, that could be very helpful. So when you surrender and you trust and you let go of control, meaning I must have this by this date, right? I must have a boyfriend within the next month. I must have this amount of money and I need to make it this way. So when you surrender, you trust, and you let go to let God, you create space for miracles to land. Because imagine you feeling like you know better than God. You know better than the divine, who literally knows everything and all that is. So when you let Jesus take the wheel, right? When you let God take over, source take over, the universe take over, it is a co-creation. And when you can surrender, they will come to you so much more easily. Because when you don't surrender, it's kind of like walking through life with a pipe, very small, tiny, narrow little pipe, and you're just looking through that pipe, thinking, my blessings have to come in that exact way. But when you take that pipe down from your eye, then you start to see so much more. It's kind of, it reminds me of like someone, I don't know, who's really upset that they need more money and they're going for a run and they're just so mad that they don't have enough money and they're just like not really paying attention to anything except for what's in their mind. You know, when you're driving and you don't know how you got to where you went because you're just like all up in your head, or it's autopilot, right? When we're on autopilot and we're in this like pattern of life and we're not breaking free of that and we're not letting the divine like show us the blessings around us, this person that's going for a run just missed a pile of cash that they just ran by because they're just focused on what's not working and it needs to happen through this way. But there's so many times where blessings come in very unexpected ways. Oftentimes they are unexpected. But when you are in alignment with receiving blessings because you've been giving them, you know they're around you, you trust, you surrender to however they will come, however the answer will come, right? Even receiving like, it's like an intuitive nudge or an answer from the divine of where to go, what to do, what's your next step. Even just receiving that, a lot of times we narrow in on how it should be, and that's the ego trying to take control. When we open up that perspective, surrender to what the divine has in store for us, my goodness, it'll probably come in an unexpected way. Sometimes you take a job that doesn't feel right. Maybe it is not right at the time, but technically it is because you meet someone at that job that has, it will multiply your income times 10 because of that person that you met at that job that wasn't exactly going to be in your life forever. It could happen with a partner. You date someone. Oh, it's not ultimately meant to be forever, but it was meant to be at that time because they have a brother or a friend or a cousin, or you're at a party with this person, or, you know, it's the butterfly effect. It's wild how it happens. So yeah, blessings come in ways that we don't really expect. And what's really cool too is blessings come in the form of receiving a no, right? Applying for a job, get an interview, get another interview. Nope, not going to happen. I'll give you an example. That's a blessing, right? When we can see it as such. And it's always clear later on, like, oh, thank goodness I didn't get that job or didn't date that person, right? They became a drug addict. Thank God I didn't end up with them, right? Whatever it is. But an example for me, I remember this was a pivotal time in my life where it was before this work that I'm doing now, this play, I should say. I had the opportunity to interview to be a pharmaceutical sales representative. Now, if you know me now, that is totally not in alignment with what I believe, who I am, my values. Hashtag big pharma, and I'm not going to go down that rabbit hole. But if you know, you know. So I had this opportunity, and it was so cool because it's like, you'll literally get a car when you get this job, and the pay is insane, and you get commission, right? If anyone knows a pharmaceutical sales rep, and I'm not trying to offend you if you are a pharmaceutical sales rep, I'm not sending judgment, but it's not in alignment with my own values. And so I had this first interview, and I remember the first interview in this hotel room, he was so hard on me, and it felt like I'd never had the right answer. It felt like I really did a horrible job, like really, really bad. Worst interview I've ever had in my life, to be honest with you. And after that, I was like, oh, well, at least I tried. I get an email, you guys. And they were like, congratulations, we're going to fly you out to Philadelphia for the next round of interviews. I was like, what? And I was like, whoa, this is crazy. It was also strange that my brother lived in Philadelphia at the time, and I ended up staying with him, but that's just a little side note, which, by the way, if you have been following my brother's story at all, this is a perfect time to talk about a little blessing, or big blessing. He is in remission from his cancer treatment. He officially had his scans come back clear. He's officially cancer-free after having clear scans for 5 years. But after this major time of chemo treatments and everything, it all took it away. So he's in remission. Yay! Just wanted to share that since I brought him up. What a blessing, right? What a blessing. That is just brand new news. But anyways, I prepared for this interview in Philadelphia like it was my job. I put together this like binder. It was incredible. Like it took me forever. It took me a long time. I flew out to Philadelphia, right? This big thing. And it was between me and one other person. I was like, are you kidding me? Like, how did this happen after that interview? And since it was between me and one other person, I felt way more confident at this interview than I did the last one, because I felt like I bombed the last one. But this one, I'm like, oh, between me and someone else, I'm like, I'm going to look cute. I'm going to be my bubbly self and just really like do a great job. And I did. I did a fantastic job. I could not have done any better. Vastly different than that first interview that I got through. So I'm like, of course I got this. It's between me and one other person, and I did amazing. I didn't get the job, you guys. I did not get the job. And at the time it was like, what the heck? Really? Really? After all that? And now, obviously looking back, it's like, oh, that was a blessing. That no was a blessing. Because if I were to have gotten that job, maybe I wouldn't have had such a major spiritual awakening, or maybe I would have felt very stuck at that job, making good money, not knowing how else I could make money with that extreme quote unquote success, which I attributed to money at that time, and not knowing how to leave that because that's the only way I knew how to make money. But instead of that happening, I actually gradually started to do what I'm doing now. I had the time and the space. I wasn't working my ass off like many people do in that job, and it takes up all their time and energy. Maybe I wouldn't be doing what I'm doing right now. So I was not in alignment with that, and my soul knew that before my human knew that. So what a blessing that no was. The next time you receive a no, divine redirection, baby. Right? So another thing you could do, again, like, don't just focus on blessing other people, which honestly lights me up the most because I know I'm putting a smile on someone's face. But bless your food, bless your water, bless your home, bless your money, your bank account, your body. Make a blessing a daily ritual. And just like meditation that you can do daily, you can also walk through life as though it is a meditation. Everything you encounter is like a dream. Everything you encounter is a blessing. So how can you really train your brain to see life and everything, that tree, that bug, that spider, that crystal, that cat, Nellie's laying in front of me, as a blessing? And I just saw 444. So the 2s and the 4s are strong. So something you can say is, this too is a blessing, even when you don't know exactly why. And I know that right now in my life, I've really trained myself to do that. And it makes everything feel so much better. It makes my nervous system feel more at ease because I'm not worried about things not working out, because I know now that when things don't quote unquote work out, they actually are working out. It is a blessing. Thank God I'm not a pharmaceutical sales rep. Thank God I also got fired from that job. I've talked about that on this podcast before. When I was a bridal stylist, I was incredible at it. I was the top salesperson. I loved making brides happy, blessing them with my energy and helping them with their wedding and their dresses. And I was fired because ultimately, again, if I was stuck there, if, like my higher self was like, it's going to take her another year or two to get the courage to leave. So my guides basically helped me get fired. Isn't that wild? So cool. What a blessing. At the time, I was the most mad I probably ever had been in my life. I was angry, and I let them know. So anyways, it's like you can laugh in retrospect, right? So the more you embody abundance and radiate joy, the more naturally blessings gravitate to you. When you are joyful, you attract joy. And that doesn't mean to bypass any negative feelings that you are feeling, because that feeling of them will help ultimately you feel more joy, because it's not going to be just sticking around in your body wanting to be felt, kind of hanging out underneath the surface, all that sadness. Feel the sadness, you will feel more joy. It's also the law of polarity. Okay. So I invite you to bless yourselves, bless your path, and bless you and your gifts and your future, because the future is now. So continue to bless yourself in every now moment. Bless others in every now moment that you can. And when you start to do that more often, it's going to feel natural to want to compliment someone or just be a light in other people's lives. You'll be one of those people where you walk into a room and people gravitate towards you. If you're not already, I have a feeling some of you are. And so watch how the simple act of blessing yourselves and others in small ways opens a floodgates of blessings. And ultimately, it's about remembering who you are. And you're a gosh darn blessing, my friends. And I love you so much. Literally, you brought me to tears at the beginning of this episode because I feel so blessed because of you. You are such a blessing, even just for me. But you're impacting many more people than just me. And your blessings that you send my way, the comments or likes or in whatever way, when I receive those blessings, I feel like I have even more blessings amplifying in my being, so I can continue to bless the collective as I do. So you are helping the collective by sending blessings to someone like me. A simple like, a simple comment. I cannot tell you how much it means to me. And so if you see someone's post online, maybe they don't have any likes or comments, why don't you like and comment? That's a very simple way to help someone, especially an entrepreneur who's like trying to make it on their own, feel so much better and do more with the knowing that they are fully blessed. You are a part of that. You earth angel, you. right? Especially if you want to be an entrepreneur who makes it online. If you're not liking other people's stuff and you're not supporting anyone else, it kind of creates a little bit of that disconnect of you not feeling like you can receive that, which has an energy to it. And maybe the algorithm will show you that. So the algorithm of life and of social media will always work in your favor when you continue to feel blessed, to share the blessings. All right. So again, I want to welcome you into my Creator Codes membership, Creator Codes Collective. This is an incredible place where you can gather with like-minded individuals. You can feel the blessings. You can give the blessings. That's what that space is for you to practice tarot readings if you want. If you want to share a message to someone in particular in that group, if you want to share a collective message, that is such a blessing. And by doing so, especially for others that are on this type of path, you will be able to feel those blessings come your way. It's incredible to see how that has happened in my other containers like Tarot Intuition Mastery. People give each other readings all the time, and it just amplifies their light and their love, and it just helps them feel more consistent with the feeling of being blessed and having the blessings. So this is a perfect place for you to share blessings and to receive blessings. I have classes there that I have for free for you on there. I have a class coming on September 7th, if you're seeing this before September 7th, 2025. And it is a full moon, total lunar eclipse on the 7th. It is a very powerful day for manifestation and for anchoring in the divine within and allowing those blessings to open up more in our lives by coming together with powerful beings, setting these intentions, and having a little bit of like a little ceremony on this full moon. It's a very powerful day. So if you're seeing this before then and you're still listening to this episode, I highly, highly recommend that you join us. And it is for free if you're in CCC, or you can purchase it separately if you want to. I'll put the link below. All right. And let me know if you have any questions, if you want to book a personal reading. Again, there's going to be some links below. I'm sending you all so much love, so much blessings. Thank you for blessing me every day just by witnessing me, watching me, seeing me. All right. And I will see you in the next episode of Creator Codes. Bye-bye.